Hey guys, it's Rod. How you doing? Hey, welcome to my channel, the Hemiplegic Handyman. I'm going to show you some of the things that I've been doing. I haven't quite figured out how to video stuff yet, but I'll turn the phone around here so you can see what's going on. Just a little bit about my deficits. I suffered a stroke back in 2021. It was a brain hemorrhage, which means a blood vessel in my brain popped. And it's a 50% survival rate. 1 out of 2 people that have a hemorrhage die. I was very lucky in that I realized what was going on in the middle of the stroke and was able to get to my phone and call for help. But anyway, my deficits are my left arm is, I no longer have any use of that. I'm working on it. I'm getting some movement back. That's about it. That's what I have. No control over my fingers. Let me turn off that heater. Hold on. That's obnoxious. All right, sorry about that. So anyway, my left arm is paralyzed. Most of my left leg is paralyzed. My knee does not work. I cannot lift or bend my knee. And my ankle and my foot is completely paralyzed. That's why I wear an AFO. You can see that. But the thing is, I'm getting around and I'm walking, so that's good. But what's even better is that I was a pretty handy guy my whole life. And electrician marine electrician by trade, design engineer. And so I pretty much fixed everything before my stroke. And, after the stroke, I thought, well, geez, with one hand, I'm not going to be able to do anything. I just started slow. One of the first things I did, look up there on the garage door opener. Be aware, these are antiques. See the white box there? That's a remote garage door opener that I got off of Amazon. And I mounted that and I wired it in so now I can open the garage doors with my phone. I also did my whole house in Google Home so that I can turn my lights on and off with my phone. Like I mounted that air compressor on the wall over there. I mounted that hose reel. I rebuilt an entire tractor in here. And right now I'm going through one of the ATVs from the farm that needed a lot of work. The stator failed. So I had to pull off the flywheel and pull the whole thing apart, basically. But while I was in there, I decided, geez, I better put new brakes on it. So I did new calipers and new pads yesterday. In the vise over there, you can see the front drive shaft. I had to pull that out because the U-joints are bad. So I'll fix that too. I'll change the oil, spark plug I already changed. I replaced the fuel pump actually too. Just because, if I get the thing apart, you might as well do it. I don't want the thing to break down again. So there's the old fuel pump right there. Replace that. There's the new stator that's going to go in. And here's the flywheel that I'm just cleaning up before I put it back on. So anyway, this channel is just going to be about how I fix stuff with one hand. Like, for example, yesterday, I had to get the wrist pin out of this drive shaft. With one arm, how the hell do you do that? I can't push, I can't hold my drift with one hand and then punch it out. See, the roll pin went in this hole here. And so what I did is I remembered that I had an air hammer. And I ordered a set of air hammer drift pins from Amazon. They were like $59 for a package of them. That's a 5/16 hole right there. I use the 5/16 in my air hammer. Boom, get it out, no problem. So it's just, you got to be creative, guys. That's it. And you can do whatever you want, honestly. I mean, I got this whole drive shaft out of there by myself, with one hand. I've done all this work by myself with one hand. I did this brake job yesterday. I got to bleed it this morning. And then I'm going to figure out how I can video this stuff so I can show you guys exactly how I do stuff. I use a lot of these one-handed clamps. They hold stuff for me. They're very handy. But yeah, see, that's where the drive shaft came out of, right there. And it connected way up there in the front. And so there's the stator, which I got to replace. What happened is the pull starter failed. It's right here. You can see all the rope and stuff in it. So that thing failed, and the cog that comes out of that to engage with the flywheel broke off. And then it started spinning around in there. and really messed everything up. Ripped up the stator and the magneto that picks everything up. So the whole thing had to be replaced. And there's the old caliper from yesterday. And you know, I did all this with one hand. Actually, to get the caliper back on, it was a little bit tricky. I had to brace my, I used my left leg as a brace, like this, to hold the caliper in place while I got the nuts started. Of course, the other thing that I do is I have like a rolling stool here somewhere. Oh, it's right there, that red thing. That helps me roll around. Sorry for the unsteady camera. It is what it is. I limp a lot. But anyway, that's what this channel is about. I suffered a stroke. Lucky for me, I have not a lot of cognitive problems. In fact, everything I've ever learned in my life is still there. As you can hear, my voice is marginal. It's okay. I can talk. I get mumbly, though. As I get tired, I get more mumbly. But the thing is, I can talk and I can communicate. I mean, the doctors, when I came out of the hospital, they told my wife, he's never going to walk, he's never going to drive. I was driving within 13 months. If you put your mind to this shit, guys, you can do it. Honestly. They told me I'd be in a wheelchair for life. I was up walking around with a cane for a long time. Probably, I started walking with a cane probably about 14 months. And now here I am at 2.5 years. And there's my cane on the floor over there. I've been walking around videoing this. I'm walking in my garage, stepping over stuff. You know, I got to fix this winch. One of the kids got stuck on it and jammed the cable in there. It's all wound up on itself and it won't pull out. So rather than dick around with it, a new winch is only 99 bucks. I said, screw it. I'm just going to take that one off and I'll deal with that later. I'll put this thing back on here so the kids can use it. By the way, I don't ride this, but I am going to convert it so that I can. It's going to be kind of a pain. I'm doing the research on it right now, but this has no right-hand brake lever. It's only left hand. Happens to be my left hand that's paralyzed. So I'm trying to figure out a way to get a left-hand master cylinder that will fit around this fuel control thing and that I can use. And then I'll have a right-hand brake that I can do. Then I can ride this thing with one arm. But anyway, guys, that's what my channel's going to be about. And it's just, you know, how to fix stuff with one hand, basically. There's not much I can't do. In fact, I'll show you another project that I did recently. That whole front door right there. Hello, Annie. That whole front door right there had been replaced because there was some rot. And it never got trimmed out. So I did all the trim work on that, filled all the holes, did that all with one hand. It can be done, guys. It takes a long time. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not rushing through these projects. That's why I can no longer do my job, because there's no way I can, like, I mean, I'm still doing some design stuff, electrical design stuff, but that's all on a computer, and I can do that with one hand. So, but physically doing the work, like building alternators, which is something my business used to do, yeah, that's out. I mean, I'm sure I'll figure it out someday. I've already started trying to make some jigs so I can figure out how to do it with one hand. And maybe I will. I'll get there, you know. But it would be too time consuming to build those alternators and make any money off it, building it with one hand. So that's why I can no longer be open, you know. Anyway, this is what I do, and I'll be showing you guys. Oh, the other thing, I'm replacing the rectifier and the regulator. I replaced all the relays. There's two down in here. There's a relay right there. And I'm going to rewire this winch. I didn't like the way it was done. I've got, I wired in a battery charger to it yesterday so that when it's in the barn, we can just, this little cord right here, we can just lift up the seat and plug right into that cord right there. And that's the battery charger. So I'll change the oil. I'm going to flush the coolant, change all that. And I'm not afraid to try this stuff, guys. What's the worst? You know, I got to call my brother when he's home some evening and say, hey, dude, I need your help holding something for 2 seconds. He'll come down and do it, and we'll get it done, you know? It's not difficult. But you just have to be willing to try it, and you got to push yourself. You know, part of this for me is this is physical therapy. This is where I get myself back to being normal. Walking around the garage like this. My barn, I don't know if you can see it out that window. That's where my shop is. It's and you know, when this first happened, the only way I could get to my barn was in a wheelchair. And that wasn't working out. So I really pushed myself to get to the shop, because I got to walk down the whole side of the house to get there. But I'm doing that now. And it's just, you got to keep pushing at it, and you got to stay positive. A positive mindset. If you have a negative mindset and you're going to play victim, you're never going to get anywhere. You gotta believe in yourself. And that's what I do. I don't know if I can do this stuff when I start it. I just tackle it. I just go for it. And that's all you can do. If I can't finish it with one hand, I can't finish it. I'll get help. I mean, worst case scenario, the Polaris dealer quoted me $2,200 to fix this thing. All in, with all new calipers, new rectifier, new regulator, a new fuel pump, everything that I'm doing here. New spark plug, full tune-up, new air filter. I'm going to be into this thing for about $300. Oh, sorry, new drive shaft, make that $400. So far cry from $2,200. And you know, this thing was broken down starting in probably October, and the kids really like to ride these things around, so I really want to get them back and running. So I hope this helps tell you what this channel's about. Again, I'm Rod, and my channel is Hemiplegic Handyman. As I should say, like everybody else does on YouTube, like and subscribe. and I'll try to get some videos of me actually fixing stuff. I'll start making some of those. I'm just learning video editing, so it's slow going. I'm in my 50s. I'm not a spring chicken anymore. I don't pick up computer stuff like I used to. Anyway, that's it, and we'll see you around. Bye-bye.